Hey everybody, welcome back. This is DS Yvonne at reprogrammingmind.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Dr. Joe Dispenza book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And we're going to take a look at chapter 8, which is called Meditation, Demystifying the Mystical and Waves of Your Future. Now, if I were to sum up this entire chapter in a few words, it would be this: the best times to meditate, morning and evening, when the door to the subconscious opens. All right, so now I'm going to unpack why the morning and the evening is the best time to be able to do any kind of meditation for the means of being able to create transformation for yourself. Now, our brains are continually changing brainwave states, right? When we're running around and, got to go to the bank, or we're double parked, or we're dealing with stressful situations, our brain is going to be in what's known as a beta brainwave state. So there's gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta, and the only one that really matters here for breaking the habit of being yourself is this theta brainwave state. In hypnosis or meditation or self-hypnosis, any kind of transformation that happens, it always begins by having that client or yourself go into a very relaxed state of mind, right? Because you want that survival mechanism to take a back seat. You want that part of you to really relax and go away. It's kind of like that security guard that's guarding your subconscious programs. The way to be able to make that change is to do so when this conscious mind is out of the way, when that critical factor is out of the way, and that's when you can get into that control panel of your mind, which is in that theta brainwave state. So when you're relaxed and in that state of mind, that's when you can begin to drip feed that new information, okay? So that's making the difference, that makes the difference. All right, so now let's get back to the Dr. Joe Dispenza book, where he talks about this biological model of change. So whenever you're doing your meditation, understand what it is that you want to be stopping first, okay? So he's talking about this familiar past, right? So this is about unlearning and unfiring and unwiring and pruning those synaptic connections. In a sense, it's like cutting away what those old association points used to mean. This is about losing your mind, right? The way that you used to think about things, you want that to be changed. So this is about deprogramming and no longer living in the past and that old energy and all those old emotional states. So the flip side of that is you want this new future, right? So you want that relearning. You want to be sprouting new synaptic connections. So you're creating a new mind. So like, let's say when a person does have that new relationship, or they're being able to be, creating that habit of going to the gym, or increasing their revenue with their business, or being able to plan that trip, that doing so is a very welcoming state of being is created, right? You feel very grateful for that idea. It's something that you're attracted to and you're very opened up for experiencing. That's about reprogramming and creating a new future and having that new energy, so that when you're thinking about the future, it's something that you're looking forward to and feeling that sense of expansion and growth. Really being able to be breaking the habit of being yourself is recognizing how your future is so much better than your past, right? And just letting your brain and body know that the past is over and that you're going to be creating new synaptic connections, new associations to new types of learning that you're going to be bringing in. Now, while you're going through these meditations, the best time to meditate is in the morning and the evening, because that's when our brains will be in that theta brainwave state. Okay, so that's when you can engage yourself in that type of self-hypnosis or meditation. Now, before I continue further with this, I want to backpedal to a completely different book. Dr. Joe Dispenza's earlier work, he wrote a book called Evolve Your Brain. So I'm actually going to read from his book so that you know exactly where I'm quoting him from, where Dr. Joe Dispenza says, "I had become fascinated with the study of hypnosis. I read every available book on hypnosis, and for 2 years on the weekend and during many evenings, I attended a school called Hypnosis Motivation Institute in Norcross, Georgia. And then here he says, by the time I graduated from chiropractic school, I had studied over 500 hours in clinical hypnosis. And then also he says here, while I was in chiropractic college, I became licensed and certified as a clinical hypnotherapist." Okay, so when Dr. Joe Dispenza has his meditations, they're actually rooted in his hypnotherapy history. And I'll be able to show you how that is so when we get deeper into this part about the meditations. Okay, so in his meditations, they're basically chopped up into 4 pieces. The first piece is known as the induction, okay? So this is the part where you want to be able to get yourself or the client into that theta brainwave state. Now, he has 2 inductions in his book. One is about space, and the other one is about water. Okay, now for myself, I didn't like either of those inductions. I didn't really like the space one. The water one I also don't like. It doesn't really make me feel relaxed. Okay, so you can use a different inductions. Now, the ones that are used with mindfulness-based stress reduction interventions, those are the ones that are talking about body scans. So those are the ones that I like to do to get into a nice theta brainwave state. So just imagine relaxation in your head and your shoulders, your chest. You basically move all the way down through your whole body, just allowing each muscle to relax. Okay, so that's the induction that I use, but if you want to use the ones that Joe Dispenza has in his book, obviously that's the ones you can use. And then the meditation is chopped up into these three other pieces. Now, the reason being is because of a thing in hypnosis called fractionation. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of this. So this is an article from the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis. And you can see this headline up here says, "The use of fractionation in self-hypnosis." I'm just going to read you a couple of those sentences here. "It's widely believed that fractionation is the most effective technique for deepening hypnotic involvement. The study was done to document its effectiveness when used in tape-assisted self-hypnosis." Okay, so I'm going to tell you what this fractionation is. Basically, it's about teasing or doing like a bit of push and pull. So in other words, relax a little bit. Okay, now come out of relaxation. Okay, now go back into relaxation. And by having that wiggling back and forth, you're getting that brain more practiced, more into the habit of understanding what it's like to get into that theta brainwave state. All right, so the way Dr. Joe Dispenza has you doing his meditations is week 1, you learn the inductions, right? So you're basically learning to relax. And then week 2, you go a little deeper into the meditation, right? And then you stop. And then on the third week, you go 2/3 deep into the meditation. And then you stop. And then the fourth way. So in a sense, you're training your brain what it's like to go deeper and deeper into meditation, right? So you're going in by a fraction at a time, all right? So that's what fractionation is. And that's why he has his meditation set up in that way, okay? This is something from his hypnosis. All right, so now let's get into what these three parts are of the meditation, okay? So parts 2, 3, and 4. Now, in that script that he has, it's about recognizing, right? So talking about the problem, right? Awakening up that problem state, admitting that there is some kind of problem that you'd like to be changing, declaring what it is, and then surrendering. Right? So that's what that whole second week is about the meditation. It's being able to practice getting into that theta brainwave state, relaxing while thinking about that problem. Okay, then the week after that, or the next part of the meditation, is where in his script he talks about observing, right? So being able to have that metacognitive position so that you can be seeing yourself having that problem, so you can have that awareness, reminding yourself, and redirecting. Okay, so this is about turning away from that problem, moving towards more of the solution-based transformation that you're seeking to be creating. Then the last part of the meditation is about creating and rehearsing. So seeing yourself in those situations and rehearsing what it would be like to be feeling in that way. So perhaps it's having that trip or being in that new relationship, whatever it is that your transformation is that you're looking to be experiencing, and having yourself feel grateful for it as if it's already happened. So you're rehearsing it, right? So that way, when it happens in real life, our subconscious programs are already in alignment with it. It's already something that's welcoming and something that we feel safe toward. Okay, so that's why he's got this whole meditation stacked in this way, right? So it's like practicing going deeper and deeper, going in more and more, fraction by fraction into that deeper meditative state. Now, the last part that I want to mention is about the placebo effect. Now, there is one man who's been actually studying placebos. This is a clip from Harvard Medical School. I just want to talk to you about Dr. Ted Kapchuk. Okay, he's a professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School, and he's a director of the Harvard-wide program in placebo studies. Actually, right here it says he's been studying placebos for more than 20 years. Okay, so now what he's been focusing on is what's called open-label placebos. And what he's found there, I'm just going to skip to this bottom line here. It says people can still get a placebo response even though they know they are on a placebo. In other words, you can have the benefit of the placebo effect even though you know that something is a placebo. So I'm going to add that to your meditations, right? Because let's say that you want to be creating that change for yourself. And I said, you know what? Just by doing these meditations, even if there was a placebo effect, and I said, you know what? Forget all this meditation and brainwave stuff. You're going to get benefits out of it just by doing the meditation just from the placebo effect, okay? You still would be able to get some meditation benefit out of it. Even if you're not good at meditation or if you're all a novice about it, it's possible to get benefit of this just from going through the meditations on your own and doing your own self-hypnosis. Now, one other bit I want to add to this is that let's say you can't do the full meditation for like half an hour or for the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So even if you can't do these long meditations, even if you do what I call like a meditation snack by just visualizing something for a minute or two, even throughout the day when you're feeling relaxed, you'll have what's known as the marginal gains effect. So I'm just going to give you one example of this. There was the racing team of England that hadn't won a gold medal in 75 years. And then they hired this coach, Sir Dave Brailsford, and what he was doing was teaching this cycling team to improve everything by just 1% a day. So the way that they would tie their laces, the way that they would adjust the seat, their tire pressure, the way that they would take off on the race, everything would be improved just by one tiny percent. Okay, so with those 1% of marginal gains, Britain then won 8 gold medals at the Beijing Olympics in 2008. There is massive amount to be gained by having these 1% little gains, all right? So in the mornings and in the evenings, if you can be using that, then I think you'll be able to get tremendous amount of benefit for breaking the habit of being yourself. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this review of Chapter 8 of the Dr. Joe Dispenza book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. And for everyone that's been commenting and leaving all of your thumbs ups and thumbs downs, I do appreciate all of that engagement. So thank you very much for that. This is DS Yvonne at reprogrammingmind.com.